let's talk about the reason why you're in the university at first: attending lectures and building your CGPA. If there's any advice you're going to take from me right now, is do not skip lectures for anything in your year one, because it's going to be hard for you to really get acquainted to the program if you start your school year by missing lectures. You shouldn't be missing lectures. You should try as much as possible to be attending lectures every single time lectures are fixed. And another thing is to try to be in front, because your year one is the simplest and the toughest level that you're going to experience in university. The simplest level in the sense that your brain is still fresh and you can understand things easier than later on in the long run. And the toughest because there are a lot of distractions. So you have to actually be 50-50, or rather 70-30, 70% academic, 30% social life in your year one. Because if you have a carryover from your first level, chances are you're going to continue having carryover till your final year. By the time some persons realize themselves in second year and then they just keep working harder and all that. But if you start laxing in your first year, it's not really going to be good in your CGPA at the end of your university year. So try as much as possible to maintain a high grade, to keep your scores high, to attend classes in your year one. That is the most vital. That's where you can actually build your GP, so that anything that's happening along the way not going to shake you that much. Another way to try to keep up with your lectures, with your notes, is attending night class. I went for night class a whole lot. Like I told you guys earlier, I had a very intelligent friend, and she would literally drag me into night class. So after every day's work, after every day's lecture, once we've rested, eaten and relaxed, around 10 o'clock we're going to go for night class. Just read an hour or 2 hours, go back and sleep. It's actually reading an hour or 2 hours every day makes the workload lesser for you and gets you more accustomed to what you're actually studying. Okay, so it's actually easier to read 1 hour, 2 hours a day and keep building them up than leaving everything to 2 days or 3 days before exam and then start reading. Then it's going to lead you to cramming, and at the end of the day you know, when you cram something, if you forget it, or if you forget one word in that line of something you have crammed, it's going to be very, very terrible for you in the exam hall. So it's actually better you build up 1 hour, 2 hours every single day till the exam date than you wait till when it's exam period to start bombarding your brain with workload. Another tip I'm going to be reading out here is, or rather an advice, is accommodation. When you're seeking for an accommodation, ensure that you're staying very close to school or even living in school in your first year, so you can cut down on some cost of transportation and make it easier for you to attend classes. Because once you're staying too far from school, if you have an impromptu lecture or impromptu test, because trust me, you see, impromptu lecture and impromptu test is going to happen a whole lot, and all those things are going to count at the end of the day because they use those impromptu things for attendance. Okay, so if you can, all right, it's better you actually stay very close to school, stay in the hostel or stay in a lodge close by, so you're going to avoid a lot of stress. Because sometimes you might have a lecture free day and all of a sudden a lecturer from nowhere will just come and be like, we have class by so and so time, and if you're living far you end up missing that class. But if you're close, if you stay around school, it's going to be easier for you to hop in and hop out. Alright, so now let's share about budgeting. You remember I said something about being the first time you're getting some level of independence. In your year one, you're going to find yourself spending a lot of money for things that you actually do not need. So you need to start budgeting from that onset and start saving. Just have a spare account. This is something I regret not doing from my year one. If I had done it by now, I would have been richer than I am right now. But nevertheless, I'm still passing by. I'm still going by. So if you can, all right, from your first year, you can open a separate savings account and just keep saving. Like you could be saving like 1,000 naira every week, or 7,000 or 5,000 naira. It depends on how much you can actually set aside. Just be throwing the money there and don't touch it. Make sure that this account is an account that you can't easily access. Just keep throwing money there. It's going to help you in the long run, because I know what I'm talking about. And you should try as much as possible to meal plan, meal prep. You're staying somewhere that you can cook. It's better that you make a batch of soup and stew and keep in your fridge, so you not end up being an Indomie baby or a junkie in your first year. and end up falling sick, because once you don't eat properly, you're going to be prone to falling sick every single time, because there's nothing for your immune system to build up on. You see, falling sick is something that you actually cannot avoid because it's a new environment, it's quite horrible. But when you're able to eat healthy and just eat well, chances are lesser. I fell sick a whole lot in my year 1. So this is my own advice to you. In order to prevent yourself from falling sick, you can start from your year 1 or from your first year to start investing in your health, investing in the food you eat, try to eat healthy. This is another thing you should actually add to your list of tips. I know I've reeled out a lot of things that you should have jotted down by now. Know the kind of ailments you usually have. I would really advise that you get medication on standby, especially if you plan on living alone, because you're not going to really have that much help. If you don't want to stay with a roommate and all that, if you don't want to stay in a hostel, if you plan on living alone, you should have your medication on standby. You should have some drugs like paracetamol. If you're very prone to stomach upset from here to there, you should have those kind of drugs down. You should have malaria drug. You see in Nigeria, malaria drug. You should have malaria drug on standby, typhoid drugs on standby, all these medications, simple, easy medication, you should just have them on standby, should in case you fall sick and there's nobody to come to your aid immediately. All these drugs that you have is going to actually help you at least to recuperate before you can now step out to look for assistance. Is make memories. Super happy that I was able to take pictures, make videos of some of my experiences in year 1. I take a lot of videos, but I think I took a lot of pictures at every step of my university year, and sometimes if I go back and see those pictures, I just kind of remember the incidents, what happened so and so day. It has this soft feelings to me, because if your memories are not recorded, you're just leaving it to the things you can remember. You cannot really remember everything. So having memories, keeping them on your phone, posting them on social media, something like Facebook, is timeless. It actually helps you just kind of relive that moment, should in case, because at the long run you can't start missing those days, and it's not everybody you started off with that you're going to end up with, especially if your friends are in different units and you have different duration that you're going to spend in school. You might end up losing touch with them and all that, but those pictures, those memories just helps you to keep in touch with them, like mentally or somewhat. So it's actually good to have a memory of each level, or have memories with your friends and store them up, videos, pictures, anyone. You can create a collage. It's really good to look back at all these memories that you've created, and it just kind of like makes you relive those happy moments. The very last tip I'm going to add to this is get a side hustle. It doesn't even have to be too much. You don't have to get it right at first. Personally, I have done up to 10 different businesses. Okay, you don't really need to get it right at first. You could start small. Just start with something that will not stress you, that won't take too much of your time. You can invest in jewelry. I think jewelry is a big deal right now. You can invest in jewelry because everybody wears jewelry. You can invest in crochet. You can invest in clothes. Just very little things here and there that are going to just help you live by and add to your allowance. Just so that you can be self-sufficient to an extent. So getting a side hustle is just going to help you out. Of side hustles, you don't even need to be selling physical products. You can learn how to write online, be a ghostwriter. That still helps with your IQ. You can learn how to be a social media manager. Just a lot of side hustles right now. Like, we've made it, this generation has made it so easy that you can actually make money from anything, from the comfort of your room. All right, so getting a little thing at the end that just fetch you extra money is actually very helpful. So this is all from university experience and advices. So let me know which of these tips actually helped you, and do click on the subscribe button. I'm going to be seeing more of you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ciao.